Number 2 touchdown favorites heading into this matchup, and they skate by with a 3-point win. Some big moments in the first half made this game a whole lot closer than maybe we assumed it would be, and then Miami not laying down their swords until late in this one. Josh Allen lead the way with 352 and 3 touchdowns. Didn't give it away. 2 interceptions, was stripped of the ball, 2 on a strip sack early in the second half. Turnovers, short fields, allowed Miami to stay in this football game, but in the end, Buffalo does enough to move on to the divisional round. All right, breaking it down in studio with a 10-year NFL vet, Lige Douzable. Deuce, interesting game, sort of a pace that maybe we didn't expect. A lot of mistakes in the first half left the door open for Miami to stay in this ball game. A lot to unpack here, but let's start with just that. The inefficiencies of Buffalo. How big of a worry is it for you right now?
You're worried, right? Because you felt like some of those flaws that Josh Allen had when it came to the turnovers. Yes, one interception was just a really good play by Kohu, tipping the ball away from Cole Beasley, and then great job of Javon Holland being in the right place at the right time. But the first interception, right, an overthrow to John Brown, Xavier Howard makes him pay for it. And then not realizing Eric Rowe was on the line of scrimmage before he came on that slot blitz. They had a screen that was set up perfectly to come from that side. That's the hot route anyway. You have to realize that, and you cannot go out with the fake the whole way. You have to get that ball to Motor Singletary right away. Sack fumble, ends up getting a touchdown off of that for the Miami defense. And then later on, holding on to the ball too long, understanding the situation. Bradley Chubb does beat Deion Dawkins. Another sack fumble. Now, they got lucky in that play. They were able to recover it. But you worry about these turnovers because turnovers will get you beat, especially in playoff games, because the margin for error is so significantly smaller. If you turn the ball over, you have a chance to lose the game. But before we even go any further, I like what you talked about that last play, 4th and 6. Let's talk about some inexperience from the head coach, right? Mike McDaniel. If you understanding the situation, 3rd and 2, you run the ball. You got to have your 4th down play ready. You end up getting a delay of game because you try to substitute players on the field with 10 seconds left on the play clock. Now you're in 4th and 6. It changes up what you want to play, call offensively. They try to get Mike Gesicki on this out route. Now, Skylar Thompson threw a heck of a ball, hit him in the hands, just didn't come down with it. But right there, you have to understand the situation if you're Mike McDaniel. Have your 2nd play ready so you're not in that situation.
So players and coaches both learning on the fly in this moment as Mike McDaniel will no doubt move forward from this moment, hopefully next year with his starting quarterback. But his starting quarterback in this game, Skylar Thompson, really comported himself well. When you look at the numbers, maybe it doesn't tell that exact story, but there were drops for Thompson, especially in the first half, that could have, again, swayed the momentum in this game. Just big picture here. What did you make of the effort out of Miami? Everybody's saying you're a 2-touchdown underdog. Just hang it up. It's been a great season. And they come out and put up this sort of fight. What did that tell you about this group, this coaching staff, this core?
Yeah, when I was talking to you, Moose, I was trying to say, like, if you're the Miami Dolphins, right, nobody believes in you in this game, right? You can go out there and play loose. If you're Skylar Thompson, you were a 3rd-string quarterback. Like, you weren't even supposed to be here, kind of like Brock Purdy. Go out there and hang loose. And I really like what the young kid did. Now, again, was kind of flustered in that first quarter, but really got comfortable in that 2nd and 3rd quarter, made some big-time throws. The one big mistake he did make was coming out at half on 3rd and 18, throwing up a jump ball in cover 2, and Kyer Elam made him pay with an interception. Buffalo goes down and scores. But I really like what Mike McDaniel did the next time around, right, when they were in 3rd and 18. He wants a screenplay to Savon Ahmed. He makes 4 or 5 guys miss, and they get the first down. So the Miami defense showed up in a big way as far as getting the turnovers. But you know, shout out to Skylar Thompson. I mean, a heck of a competitor to go out there, use his mobility sometimes to buy time and pick up first downs, throwing the ball down the field, and then was just efficient when he had time in the pocket. So great effort from this Miami team who was really banged up, right? Teron Armstead was beat up at left tackle. Tyreek Hill wasn't 100%. And you talked about it, right? Tua Tagovailoa wasn't in this game. So it looks bright if you're the Miami Dolphins because you're able to get into the playoffs, play what some people consider the best team in the NFL right now, the Buffalo Bills, and take them down to the wire.
Yeah, this team might look a little bit different next year. Notable free agents, including Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, Mike Gesicki. They do forfeit that first-round pick for the tampering allegations, which they were found to be true there. And Tua, he remains a question mark moving forward as well. Let's pivot back to the Buffalo side here. Dawson Knox, big early on, sort of taken out of the game. What did you make of the offensive game plan? They had to have known they were going to see a lot of blitz, and they saw just that 5-6-man pressure all day long.
And we worried about that, Moose, right? Was Josh Boyer really going to live and die with the blitz and going man coverage on the outside? And he literally lived and died like that. Now, in the first half, Stephon Diggs had a field day, and I know people will get on Xavier Howard, but I don't think people truly understand how hard it is to cover a man for 4 or 5 seconds when the blitz doesn't get home. And that's exactly what happened in that first half. Well, Miami started having some success getting to Josh Allen in the second half, and their DBs competed at a high level in the second half. We saw Josh Allen be a little bit inaccurate in that second half, missing guys coming across the middle. So if you're Josh Boyer, you're like, we're going to put the game on us, right? We're going to put our DBs in man coverage, but we're going to force the issue with Josh Allen because too many teams, they sit back, Moose, and just let him dance a parade back there, and then he takes off, or he rolls out to the right and throws a 60-yard bomb like he did to John Brown versus the New England Patriots. So, I mean, shout out to Josh Boyer for sticking to his guns and saying this is who we are. And even when they were down 14-0, right, this defense never wavered. Big turn in that game was when they had a chance, the Bills, to go up 21-0. Dawson Knox drops the pass for a touchdown. The next play, they get off the field, hold them to a field goal. The game kind of flipped there, and they started making more plays on defense.
All right, so the question now moving forward is, can Buffalo continue to win this way? They've won this way all season long, but things start to tighten up when we start talking about divisional round and the opponents that they're going to be seeing, the likes of those opponents. What do you think about Buffalo here with 6-7 days to clean it up? Do you like them?
I like them to clean it up, but the thing that worries you is this is who Buffalo has been, like you said, Moose, right? The thing is, run the football. I believe Devin Singletary averaged over 4 yards a carry. They just refused to run the football when they were up big. And also, you got to clean up the turnovers. Ball security is job security. You turn it over, you have no chance to win games.
All right, taking a look at what this means moving forward, and here's a look at that playoff picture. If the Bengals win in the Sunday night nightcap, that means they will play at Buffalo. So if the Bengals win, it'll be Cincinnati, Buffalo, in Buffalo. Kansas City then plays Jacksonville. If Baltimore wins in the nightcap on Sunday, they will take on Kansas City. Buffalo will host Jacksonville. All right, let's take you out to Orchard Park where the leading voice of the NFL on CBS joins us now. Tony Romo in the mix. Tony, interesting ball game we played witness to here. Maybe didn't take on the paces that we thought it would. I want to talk to you about Buffalo and their execution in those moments. They could have made this a runaway in the first half, it seemed like at times, and they didn't execute in those moments. Do you see them cleaning this up moving forward because they've won this way all season long, and now we're looking at a team and a margin for error that gets smaller week by week?
I mean, yes and no. I think the biggest thing is we always talk about you are what your record is, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're a 500 ball club, that's what you are. Well, they're 13-3 for a reason, and they're good. They've lost 3 games and by like a combined 8 total points. So it's like they never really lose that often, and they don't ever get blown out. But like the one thing is the turnovers, and they've had a few this year that's a little alarming, and that kind of shows up. It's like, well, if your record is this, well, if you turn the ball over a lot, you're going to kind of turn the ball over in the playoffs. It's kind of who you are, and that's the biggest thing. They've got to shore that up. If they do, they're going to be, they can beat anybody, and I think we all know how talented they are, but right now, Buffalo is really hard to beat because they have great scheme on both sides of the ball, great fundamentals. They're really well coached, and Josh Allen is a superstar. And you saw he's starting to get back into a rhythm of throwing that ball. The biggest thing, though, is today was harder than people realized because you're such a heavy favorite that it's okay until things don't go your way, and now all of a sudden it's hard. The interception on the 3rd and 19 was the difference in this game. Miami had them mentally, emotionally, and then it was like you had to protect Buffalo almost. Someone needed to create a play. That was the play that changed it, I think. Then it was very hard for Miami.
Yeah, we talk about the middle 8, Miami dominating that portion of this game, coming out of the half, defensive points. It was really an all-out effort from them. We saw blitz packages that included 5-6-man pressures, and Allen, it gave him problems throughout this game. But I want to tip my cap right now to Skylar Thompson and this offense. You're down your right tackle, you're down your left tackle, you're down your RB1, and he comes out there and he didn't get the help that he needed from his team early in the first half as well. There were some big drops in this. What did you make of Thompson's performance and maybe what that means for him in his future in this league?
Well, I mean, it's a great opportunity today. I mean, like a childhood dream in some ways, and he almost was able to pull off the upset. I mean, when he looks back, I think that last play on 4th down, Tyreek Hill was open over the middle, and it's even more open when you're a quarterback and you know exactly how that played, and took a second. I think he almost predetermined to move a little bit. So those are learning experiences, but I thought he handled himself well. He's going to obviously want some throws back and some reads back, but he gave them a chance today, and I think that's a good thing for him, but it's never going to sit well when you lose and you had an opportunity to do, your childhood dream as a kid. And that's just tough for you. But hats off to him. He played hard, and he gave them a chance, and there's a lot of drops. He threw a lot of great balls today that his receivers didn't come down with.
Yeah, balls we had not seen from him this season. Skylar Thompson trying to will his team to a win, but they come up short here against Buffalo. That's Tony Romo weighing in from Orchard Park. Tony, the season rolls on. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
All right, taking a look at some numbers coming out of this one. Josh Allen against the Dolphins. He likes the look. 11 consecutive games of 2 passing touchdowns or more. He gets to 3 in this game, and 3 is the operative number because that is the difference with the Bills. Moving on to the divisional round.